Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about a few things. This is a vlog, but this vlog will not feature me in the camera. Uh, One, because most of what I've got to talk about is going to be uh, things that I need to show you on the screen, and two, I just got done playing technically 3 shows with my bands. One of my bands played early tonight, and then that same band, along with my other band, played at another bar, closing out the night. So I just got back from that. I'm exhausted, so probably don't need a camera on me anyway. But what I wanted to talk about is a handful of things. First, right now I'm testing out a different mic setup. Um, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to use it no matter what on this vlog, but I don't know if I'm going to use it for uh, videos or not. It's kind of a pain to set up the nice expensive equipment every time. Uh, so I mean, it's kind of cluttered on my desk and all that. So I'm using this headset, this wireless headset from Logitech. Regardless of whether I end up using it for the videos, this is what I'll be using for live sessions and private tutoring, private lessons, which I actually use a similar headset if for the private lessons that require us to use cell phone instead of voice over internet. So, so either way, I'm going to be using it, but I don't know if I want to give up the nice radio quality, deep sound of the nice studio mic yet, but we'll see how well this sounds. If it's bad, we won't use it for videos. Anyways, I've talked enough about that, but I did want to show it to you because these things are kind of cool. This is the one I'm wearing right now. They're a little pricey, but not. I mean, for what they are, they're not bad, and they work fairly well. This one in particular is really strictly for a computer or a device that has USB. This works similar to your wireless keyboard and mouse. It's got a little nano dongle type deal that you plug into your USB port. And it's got a decent range. I think it's about 30 feet. I can pretty much walk to the other end of my office without it, or it starts getting a little distorted there. The other one I use, let's see if I can pull it up here quickly without wasting time. This is the one I use for my phone. It says it's for the iPad, which, or iPod, iPhone, whatever, which it does definitely work for that. However, it works with pretty much any Bluetooth enabled device, including my Android phone. So it's pretty nice. It allows me the ability to walk around, and it's got the same about 33 feet, but I've noticed I've been able to walk farther away. I think it has something to do with the difference between Bluetooth and the other technology that I believe the nanotechnology. With the headset I'm using now, the one that plugs into the computer, when you get farther away, things start getting distorted. However, with this Bluetooth one that we're looking at right now, from people that I've talked to on the phone, they say that whenever I walk too far away from my phone, it just sounds like I'm walking far away. It doesn't actually get distorted. It just sounds like I'm kind of walking away from the phone. So anyways, that's a review on those. I'm going to put links to these on the website. Remember that one of the ways I'm trying to generate revenue so that I don't have to rely on fundraisers is using my Amazon affiliate account. So any of you guys interested in purchasing things that I've reviewed or that I've used and whatnot and approve, it would be really great of you to go through the website to get to it. As long as you enter from my website, it counts towards my account, and the digital graphic gets a percentage of the sale. So no matter what you buy, as long as you enter through the website, we get a cut, and that helps out. So anyways, another thing I wanted to talk about, which was brought up in email today uh, from somebody asking for some advice, and one of the things they're asking about is what Adobe products to purchase. And they were talking about whether to use Eclipse or Dreamweaver, and they knew they wanted to get Photoshop, and they were pretty sure they were going to get Dreamweaver. There's another option out there now, and this is something that Adobe, I wish they would have done a long time ago, and I'm glad they're doing it now. It's not necessarily, I mean, it's cheap. It may be cheaper in the long run, but it's not necessarily still cheap. But basically, here we'll just go to it. The Adobe Creative Cloud. If you sign up to this, among some other things, which you can see the URL up there and go and check it out yourself. They allow you to do a monthly plan where you have access to all of Adobe's products. So you basically download the trial, which is a full version that lasts 30 days. And then once that 30 days is up, you can sign up for this Creative Cloud and use all the master suite. And I think you can use every product. I'm not 100% sure on that because they've got tons of products, but at least the master suite you can use, and you can use it for 30 days. So what that means is instead of having to drop, several $1,000s, and I mean, off the top of my head, I think it's between $4,000 and $6,000 or so, somewhere like that for the Master Suite, which right now, if you buy it, I mean, you're getting a very, very current version, but that'll go out of date. What's neat about this thing is that if as long as you're paying your monthly, if they release a new version, you automatically get grandfathered in and you get to use the new version. So there's no upgrade charges or anything like that. You're just basically paying a monthly fee. Now, don't get excited about the $29.99. Well, you might be able to, but that's for people who I believe have purchased CS3 and above, maybe CS2, but I'm pretty sure it's CS3 and above. If you have that, they allow you to do a 1-year contract at $29.99 as an upgrade. But if you haven't purchased anything at all, or if you haven't purchased CS3 or above, then your next one up is the $49.99. And that requires the 1-year contract, which some of us may not be able to pull off. So if you just need to use their programs for a month, you can drop $74.99, and for a whole month you get to use all of their products legit, and with all the patches and upgrades and support, and that is awesome. What we're doing here is we've gone ahead and signed up for the 1-year contract, which is another reason why we need funding and however different ways we can to continue to keep that up, because we have this now, we have the hosting, along with me just keeping afloat and keeping my family up alive. But as far as expenses for the website, we have a handful of expenses that need to be paid every month in order for us to keep current and keep our services that we're already offering, like the hosting, up. But I wanted to share this with you because I don't think everybody knows about this. So for that person who emailed me, had they not known about this, they may have gone out and spent something like a good $500, maybe $600 on Photoshop, and then maybe $300 or $400 on Dreamweaver, and that's fine. I mean, they've purchased their copy, but for what they were talking about, it seemed like they didn't actually need to use it for. I mean, it seemed like they needed to use the products for the time that they were developing, but they didn't necessarily need them after that. So this gives some options there. I mean, eventually you're going to end up spending the same amount as you would for the master suite. But excuse me, the if you think about it though, at the $49.99 a month, you're looking at about $600 a year to have access to something that would have cost you, um, you know, four, five, $6,000. So it's pretty cool. Next thing I wanted to talk about, um, shoot, I had something I wanted to talk about on YouTube, but I forgot. What I do want to talk about though is we've done a couple of live Q&As, and now that I'm pretty much done with the job I had before, my freelance work, and I'm moving. I mean, now I'm pretty much strictly doing the digital craft. I've got a couple loose ends to tie up, but I want to schedule set dates for these live Q&As rather than, just spur of the moment. And the ones we've done, we've used Google Hangouts, and we may use them again, but they're great. Google Hangouts is great, but the one thing that I noticed when people are using it is that depending on different people's connections, they were having a hard time seeing my screen. The quality was very, very poor, and I try to really take pride in the quality of the videos that I make as far as the being able to read them. A couple of them have gotten a little screwed up, but most of my videos, if you notice, they're generally crisp. I record them at 1080 and then I drop them down to 720, which gives me some slack in order to zoom in and things like that. And Google Hangouts is it's not doing that very well. I'm sure they'll figure out something to fix that. But until then, we're going to use what's called join.me, which some of you may know. Right now I'm using a trial version, but I think I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to this, which again is another expense that we have to cover here at the Digital Craft. But basically, anytime we do a live event, you just go to join.me/thedigicraft, and I'll make it, I have the ability to make it a closed session or an open session. And if it's a live Q&A, it's just an open session, and all you got to do is go there, and automatically you're seeing my screen. We can chat, all sorts of stuff. It's great. Here, I'll do an example here. I'll start a session. Alright, so you're seeing my other screen. For one, it allows me to quickly, whoops, wrong one, change, I can either change screens or I can actually select windows, so I can make it so that only Dreamweaver, for instance, is being seen. But I'm just going to take us to a blank screen here. So there. And you guys, so what we're looking at right here is your guys' view. This is what you would see if you logged in. And you can zoom in here, say 200%, and you can kind of click and drag. That is if your screen isn't big enough, or you can kind of fit the screen. Either way, the quality is way better. I believe you may end up having a lag if your connection's bad, but you'll still have a good quality, and I think that's more important. You may not be able to see me type in real time, but as long as you can actually read the code or read what I'm doing or see what I'm doing, I think that's way better. Plus, we have a chat option here. If you click it up here, then we have a little chat window. so we can talk to each other just like on Google Hangouts. There's also a call, so we can do a whole conference. Everybody can do voice over internet, whoever wants to do voice. So for those of you who have done the live chat or the live Q&A, you'll see some similarities here. I just think paying for the service to get a better quality is going to be worth it. And I'm also going to be using this for private lessons, which a beauty of this is not only do you have all the features I just talked about, but I can actually switch. We can swap, so quickly I can see your screen, and not only can I see your screen, but I can manipulate your screen. So if you're having trouble with something, I can simply swap presenters and request control of your screen, and I can go in there and type things in for you so you can see what what we're talking about, or I can help you that way. Either way, I think it'll be helpful. Luckily, this one doesn't require a contract, so I can cut it off anytime I want if it doesn't work out. But I wanted to show you this one because this is going to be something we're going to be using, and I want you to get familiar with the format. But two, also so you guys understand that the fact that we do have some expenses that I'm paying for out of pocket or with the fundraising and things like that. So it's all the more reason for the donations, and even more so. I need the donations, but I would much prefer work for the money. So the private lessons, there's still slots available during the week. Please jump on that. It's a great rate, and we can get a lot done in an hour or however long you want to go. How we do the private lessons is you would tell me what you want to talk about, give me the topics, and if I have to do any research or prepare for it, I will prepare for it so that we can get the most out of the hour. And I will completely, modify the lesson as we go, as I learn how you learn, and I don't expect anybody to have to learn specifically the way I want to teach. So that's one of the key things I want people to know, is that I'm going to closely monitor how each person learns and try to cater to that and adjust my teaching style to suit. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, we've got another thing I'm going to try. I picked up one of those bamboo tablets from Wacom. I like to call them Wacom because it sounds funny. But I've always wanted. I had one of the professional ones, the old Intuos, a long time ago. Actually, it was a buddy of mine. He just left it here, and I used it, but I didn't really like it. I'm not much for the Illustrator. I'm more of a Photoshop guy, not an Illustrator guy, and illustrations in general is just not my thing. So I didn't necessarily like it, but I started thinking about the fact that a lot of what I do and a lot of what web development is, there's a lot of whiteboarding and things like that. So I ended up picking up a bamboo, even though it's not the professional thing, which I don't want to spend that kind of money anyway. But it allows me to at least have some sort of whiteboard type setup here, and I'm trying to get used to it and get the hang of the way things flow here. But I mean, I can simply select a pen or a pencil and just start writing. So if we were going to map out some databases, sorry, it's a little sloppy, but I can, we can talk about what fields might go in there, things like that, and kind of get that whiteboard feel. You know, we can get creative and say, well, this relates to, you know, this other thing over here. Whatever. I'm making things up as I go, but so I want to introduce that. You might start seeing that in the dynamic series and some of the other series, and hopefully I get a little bit better at the writing. I'm trying to practice both my all caps and which is actually how I normally write. My lowercase is a little childish looking, although my all caps looks childish with this pen too. But I'm getting the hang of it. It's kind of neat. Um, I can quickly adjust things, and you know, we can kind of fly through stuff. Even oh, quickly scale things down and make room for more things. And then I can save these, and you guys, you know, put them up, and you guys can have a copy of these. I can't really do that with my whiteboard. And my other idea was, you know, setting up a camera on my whiteboard, and that just adds another step in the process for rendering the videos and editing the videos. And if I can keep everything within the screen capturing software, that would be great. That allows me to get these things out quicker, much like I'm doing right now. Most of our vlogs will go back to being, you know, video and maybe a hybrid of the two, but as far as our lessons, we will probably start utilizing this, and we'll see what you guys think. So it's really just knowing where you're at, whether you want to, you know, it's a cross between looking at the pad, which, you know, doesn't tell me where I'm at, or looking at the screen, which does, and sometimes takes a second to start getting used to it. But either way, so that's that. And, you know, while I'm at it, I'll try to solicit you really quick here on Amazon, and see if we can't find this on here. The one I got is called the Capture, I believe. Yeah, it's also a touch, so it's a multi-touch tablet too. If you want that, that's kind of handy for those that don't have touchscreen computers or anything like that. You can flip that on and off. There's a lot of neat features with this in general. There's extra buttons that you can assign. You know, like if you want, you know, one button to open up Photoshop, or if you wanted to be a certain tool, whatever. Anyway, I'll put this up on the website too, in case anybody's interested in one of these. They have cheaper models, like this here, the Splash, which I think they're all pretty much the same. You don't have the touch capability here, but as far as the pen, it all works the same. You may have a little bit smaller of an area, but hey, that's that. I want to thank everybody. I hope this audio sounds at least good enough for the vlog. If not for videos from now on, it's just a lot easier. It frees me up to not have to be, you know, keep my face not necessarily up against the mic, but, you know, at a certain distance all the time, and the mic picks up, you know, if I swallow or whatever, I do anything, it's such a good mic that it picks up everything, and sometimes that's not good. This might even hide the cricket, which I think it's getting too cold for the cricket anyway, so I think the cricket's finally gone. So anyway, to summarize everything, check out the creative.adobe.com/plans, and just kind of take a look at that, click around, learn more about it. gonna have some more videos coming up. I'm working on a daily schedule for myself now that I'm not doing freelance work anymore. I'm gonna try and figure out how many videos I can kick out a month, or a week, I mean, or a day, or I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off yet. I'm gonna start writing more articles, or blogs anyways, slash articles, maybe product reviews. Um, just trying to get a lot of content on the site, which also helps with our advertising and all that. But just glad for everybody who's watching, and if anybody has the ability to donate, remember it's donate.thedigitalcraft.com, and hope you guys all have a good night, morning, or afternoon, wherever you guys are at. Thank you.